I'm closing in on it, man. I really feel like I'm closing in on this hip pain thing that's kind of going for months and months and months on end. So today, after a whole bunch of deadlifts yesterday, I feel a lot better. Feel strong, feel really good in my glute. The squat feels strong again. I keep thinking about the period of when I first kind of introduced deadlifts for the first time after a long time. My squat felt amazing. I hit 200. I hit a PR on the deadlift. Like, it was all going good. And then I went away from that and I started doing a lot of big squats. 3-piece squats in 9 days, a lot of squatting motion, and my strength went down and developed hip pain. It all kind of came to a head 2 days ago when I couldn't train in the morning after work. Came in and I tried to rush a workout, and then my hip pain really kind of started cooking. And so I've come in today again for the second day in a row, and I've just basically done a whole lot of deadlifting. I'm supposed to be squat every day kind of guy, but I've basically worked out that deadlifts is what my body needs to kind of feel good in the squatting motion. So I've kind of completely tapered off the volume with the squats, and I'm just doing a whole lot of pulling. A lot. Like, I did 5 sets of 10 with 40 kilos today. Then I went to 5 sets of 10 with 90 kilos. And then I did some squats, and then I came back to deadlifts again, and I did a whole 2 sets, I think, of 5 at 140 kilos. So a whole lot of deadlifts. And my body's loving it. My hips loving it. I feel really, really good. So the current thinking is that too much squatting will, number one, cause imbalances. And number two, if you're squatting a lot, like doing a lot of big squats, a lot of volume, and you're throwing leg extensions, you're really facilitating these imbalances. Basically, the quad gets really, really strong, and the hamstring and the glute doesn't really get that much attention, which is really weird, right? Because the squat does also hit the glute, but in a different kind of pattern. So today, I told you what I just did. And then I kind of finished off the workout by doing some leg curls as well. It's really weird now because one of you guys just actually mentioned this thing literally like 5 minutes before I started the editing about doing leg curls. So I thought to myself this way. So I did squats and I did leg extensions, hip pain. All right, so let's go the other way. Let's do not a lot of squats and lots of deadlifts, lots of leg curls. Let's see what happens then. It's feeling really good. It's just the way, like, there's no two ways about it. For some reason, I've developed this imbalance. Well, for some reason, I don't know what the reason is, man. The reason is too much squatting. Too much damn squatting. So I'm going to go the other way now. I'm going to really address the glutes, the hamstrings, really, really hardcore. Lots of deadlifting, lots of leg curls, and see how it goes. So I just finished the leg curls not long ago. And man, like, as I'm kind of curling the legs up, I can feel that hip sensation, not hurt, but literally I can feel something in there in a good way. It's really, really bizarre. I can't really explain it. I can feel that kind of discomfort almost kind of moving away from me. It's activating a muscle in the hip that's just making it really, really cool. For a moment there, I thought maybe this is a hamstring origin. Maybe I've got a bit of a hamstring thing going on. And that's causing kind of referred pain into the kind of right pocket hip. Anyway, thinking about a whole lot of things. But that's kind of what I did today. So as you can see on the screen, I try to warm up with the squat. I did a lot of deadlifts. I was really, really warm at this point, but set in a hole a little bit for the squat. Another thing which is also very interesting, I get a lot of advice from you guys, which I actually love the interaction through the comments from you guys. It's just I actually learned a lot as well. One of you guys actually said, maybe your floor is uneven. Brilliant idea. Maybe it is uneven. And so I decided to go the other way around and actually squat the other way with my back facing the camera. And as I was setting up for this squat, I actually said to my cameraman, the floor is definitely uneven, man. It is definitely, like, I felt like I was on a hill here because I was so used to squatting in one direction. I just kind of got used to, I don't know, my body kind of got used to the unevenness in that way. But when I flipped it around, it was like, whoa. Like, all of a sudden, the leg that was kind of downhill is now uphill, and it just feels really weird. So that's something to kind of think about as well. I don't know what else to do, but cut the concrete and pour another slab. Really don't want to do that. But I might one of these days turn the squat rack around and kind of try that as well. So I gave my cameraman a whole lot of trouble, getting good shots because, when you're shooting from the other side, it's a lot different. There's a whole lot more gear in the way, and he tried moving some weights around and things to get some good shots. But yeah, anyway, so that's another little thing. It's really interesting thinking about maybe it's not the squats, maybe it's the floor. But anyway, I hate it when there's multiple variables at hand. I usually like to control a lot of variables, all the variables, and then just change one thing and see what's up. But maybe it's the floor, maybe it's too much squatting. So I'm dealing with kind of two things at the moment. But nevertheless, the deadlifts still remain feeling unbelievable. The leg curls also feel unbelievable. Now the leg curls has kind of been, hated on for a long time, because it's basically leg curl is a knee flexion exercise in the absence of any sort of glute work at all. So you're working the hamstring in the absence of the glute, and that kind of spells disaster on the sporting field, because if you teach your body to contract the hamstring on the glute, you run the risk of tearing your hamstring. So this is why it's kind of not really a good thing for you to do leg curls. But luckily for me, I do a whole lot of squatting and deadlifting, so I'm not running the risk of kind of making those imbalances. You can't use the leg curl as a main movement anyway. It has to be kind of as an accessory. So anyway, leg curls are kind of back in the mix. I used to do them a little while ago. But you can see on the screen now, this is 140. Yeah, 140 for a set of 5. At this point, I'm pretty tired. Did a whole lot of deadlifts and some squatting, and now I'm doing deadlifts again. But yeah, after the couple of these sets, I basically felt really good. When I finished the 180 times 1 squat, I kind of felt the hip is kind of not feeling as it was kind of after and during the deadlifts. So the squat is aggravating it, which is telling me something. So I just thought, okay, let's finish the workout off with a deadlift. And it was kind of, as I was kind of packing up, I thought to myself, I was walking past the extension machine. Well, it was the leg extension for me, but I ended up moving the pads up, and I thought, let me just hit some hamstrings, see if how that feels. And the moment I started doing this, I was like, okay, this is feeling interesting. This is feeling kind of good. Like the glute feels kind of, there's no pain, but it kind of feels good. Like I'm actually doing good for it. So it's just interesting. Interesting when you kind of thinking on the fly, when you're kind of thinking about what's happening. I said this before, the intellectual side of training, the mental side of the game is so much fun to me, man. Like it's almost like more than half of my joy is working out some of these problems, working through problems. It's just a freaking cool thing. Anyway, guys, that's the day today. Reporting in for another session. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Later.